Well, folks, today we're thrilled to have Moses Mega Mike Jesus Johnson answer a few questions for the American public. Welcome M cubed J squared. We're happy to have you.
Gee whiz, I'm hoping to come off looking cheerfully creepy and prove to the American people that despite looking like Richie Cunningham, my head is about as far up the orange savior's ass as it will go. I'm also going to make it seem like I'm blessing you with my presence when in fact I had nothing better to do because I finished ordering my wife around early today.
Well, let's get into it. Did Joe Biden win the 2020 election?
Come on now, silly goose, Joe Biden is president.
So, did Donald Trump lose the 2020 election?
Listen, Daddy-o, this is a gotcha question. Unless it's Bible bingo, I won't play games.
Will you certify the results of the 2024 election?
Oh shucks, only if we have a free, fair, and safe election.
There's no evidence whatsoever that we've ever had an election that wasn't free and fair.
Well, we're working hard on creating the impression that this election will be a disaster.
Why can't you answer the question?
The American people have had enough of this. Mainstream media likes to ask questions that can be proven true or false, and that's just not Christ-like or neighborly.
Does your son like to watch porn?
The American people deserve to know. I get a notification if my son visits a salacious site.
Do you like to watch porn?
The American people deserve to see my best Howdy Doody impression, and you are pushing me to turn into Chucky instead.
Are Haitians in Springfield, Ohio eating the dogs?
I'm looking towards the future, and my third cousin's ex-boyfriend's alcoholic sister heard this was happening.
Do you feel responsible for putting Ohio residents in danger?
Everyone knows the American people are quite fond of bomb threats.
Are illegal immigrants allowed to vote in elections?
We tried to pass the SAVE Act to make sure they don't, but the meanie-pantsy Dems ruin everything and constantly call out my lies. That's why I practice them in the mirror and instruct my wife to tell me I look believable.
But it's already illegal for immigrants to vote.
I see the game you're playing and it makes me smile disingenuously.
So you agree immigrants already can't vote?
We've seeded plenty of doubt in our voters' minds. Works like a charm.
Do you support Eric Trump's comments claiming Democrats tried to kill his father?
I don't know what Eric was saying because I only heard a snippet of his statements.
Sir, I just played it for you.
I saw your clip of it, but how do I know it wasn't an AI-generated Eric or an actor playing him on TV?
Will you call Congress back to allocate more FEMA funding?
Everyone knows it's common practice to wait 30 days to let our lies reach their full effect before doing anything that might make the Dems look good. Of course, if it looks like we're not going to get away with those lies because of naughty governors telling the truth, then I'll pretend Dems decided to go to a jazz fest together instead of doing their jobs.
Do you understand nobody believes you when you said Biden's Hurricane Helene response was a massive failure?
Everyone in my church said I did a great job pinching off that lie. They also say they loved the way I've changed one of God's commandments to love thy neighbor, unless hating them is more effective at harming Dems.
Do you agree with Trump that the only way he loses is if the Democrats cheat?
This is my exasperated look. It's meant to make your question seem ridiculous and childish. I use it when I know I'm gonna look like an idiot for lying, or when I underperform with my wife and I want to blame her. Also, silly goose, Trump is gonna win.
Do you know the poll numbers aren't looking good for him?
This is my eye roll. It means I'm gonna ask God to strike you down after this interview. Also, I've been to a lot of cities, and the American people always ask if Iran is going to interfere in our election. Well, first they ask me if I'm a real boy, and then I tell them to ask if Iran is going to interfere with our election, and then I pretend they came up with the question themselves.
Do you realize under your speakership the House has achieved almost nothing for the American people?
Okay, I can see you're cruising for a bruising. The American people want me to take my ball and go home now, so that's what I'm going to do.
Okay, Moses Mega Mike Jesus Johnson, have the day you deserve.